The last big battle was Patrick Henry Library. And when that was initially built, yeah, when we finally got a true public library building, that was a watershed. It was a lovely, it was not, no other county library, it wasn't just a square building. It had an inner courtyard, it had an outer courtyard where the high wall is around. There was a kind of a garden there and trees, and it was just a little architecture. There was nothing else like it as a library in Fairfax County. In fact, the county librarian, I think it was Mrs. McCullough, she loved what the other friends were trying to do. She was a lovely lady. And she called our chairman and said, could you come over to Fairfax City? Meet me at the library over there at such and such a night. I want to show you something. And she showed us the architect's rendering. And we practically burst into tears. I mean, we just, oh, this is beautiful. We then had that town manager I referred to. If he didn't do it himself or take credit for it, so he looks at the library. That wall is too low. So the wall got ramped up, you know. But he couldn't change it. And then in the 90s, the county decided to expand the library. Fine, it needed more space. A big meeting convened about what they were going to do when they remodeled this, and it was just gosh awful. It was awful. And some of us who had been on the initial struggle, including a former mayor, Jim Martinelli, good guy, to get this library, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. So we started getting organized again. And we went to for our district, our county district, each supervisor named somebody to the Fairfax County Library Board, the overseers. And we said, you know, this just isn't right. And all this culminated with 2 or 3 of us badgering her in a big town meeting over at Patrick Henry. It was a town hall, I don't remember which. And, you know, we said you can't, okay, enlarge this library some, but you can't do to it what you're planning to do to it. And we had Kenton Kilmer, son I think I shall never see of home as lovely as a tree. He and his wife had started Green Hedges School. We had some very literate, well-spoken people who all stood up to say, don't desecrate Patrick Henry Library. And we'd all signed up to speak. And these were really eloquent people. And I'm the last one on the list. Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what is there for me to say? Everyone has extolled, but knowing how the black and white communities had come together, you know, I stood up and I made an entirely different argument, how this was more than a library. This was, you know, part of the soul of the community and everything, and what it had represented above and beyond books. And afterwards, one of the, was she a county supervisor? She ended up in Richmond in the legislature. She knew me, and I politely greeted her, and she said, Lord, what were you trying to do? Make us all cry? You know? And so I think it's the only time I ever deliberately got a little emotional before a group. But, you know, what I said was true. It was more than just getting a library and access. It just showed what a town, a community could do working together.